Welcome back to Community Conversations. I am Queen Miss Ebony J. Super excited to be here with you. If you've never listened before, this is 1230 The Buzz, your talk station, 101.1 The Wiz, and 100.3 Cincy's R&B station. I'm Queen Miss Ebony J, the host that does the most, known from coast to coast. My whole goal is to make sure that we empower people with information and knowledge. We can only be successful in this world based upon the things that we know, right? So I'm excited. Today, I have in here with me a boss king, Mr. Jason Winbush, who is the founder and the king behind the Young CEO program. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, no, I appreciate you, all the great work that you're doing in our community. If you've never listened to Community Conversations or not familiar with it, this is where we come to talk about what's happening right here in our community, because it's off the chain, right? But we know that there's organizations just like your organization that's truly out here to make a difference and an impact in our community. So tell everybody why you decided to start the Young CEO program.
Well, the reason I started the Young CEO program was because I owned 4 Auntie Anne's Pretzels franchises. And in that process, I was working with several kids. I hired about 70 kids. And one of the common factors were that they had no work experience, and some had no idea of really what they wanted to do in life. And so since I wanted to help them, I decided to go ahead and start this Young CEO program for help training them in a work program, also to guide them if they wanted to do some entrepreneurship.
And, how long has this program been around?
Well, I started thinking about it and putting it together roughly about 3 to 4 years ago. And at that same time, I was like, well, how can I instill value into young people who believe sometimes that they have nothing to lose? Right. So I said, well, the gun violence had kicked up a lot. And I was like, let me ask some of them, why do you think the gun violence is happening? And we talked about money issues, that people would rob folks because they didn't have the money, or sometimes they just didn't value life and they just wanted to take it. So one of the things that I try to tell people, if we don't teach young people how to make money, the streets will teach them how to take money. So I decided that if I can help curb some of the gun violence and instill in the kids a reason, just a glimmer of hope, a light, a little value, because sometimes when you have a business, people consider that your baby. So just think about it and want to nurture it and see that it grows. And sometimes your decisions, when you have consequences, you don't want to lose something that you invested time in, that you would think twice before you make a bad decision in picking up a gun or things of that nature, because you want to be more productive for your business and for the community around you.
Oh, you ain't never lied. That's the biggest part, is trying to get our babies to understand that they are the new generation and that they truly have impact.
Yes. And sometimes you have to show them the way. You know what I'm saying? And I have a lot of experience in a lot of things. So I used to have a magazine where I let the students write the articles. And I actually had a good partnership with the Wiz before, where we got to let the students interview some of the celebrities. And it went as far as me going to meet one-on-one with Kathy Hughes in several cities like Miami and Los Angeles. And we had talked about some things. And I've also had my own photography business where I learned under C. Smith on Reading Road. He did a lot of things where he was teaching me how to do this. And let me take it back to the magazine. I also worked with Fred Suggs, who was a part of Tri-State Talk and Knit magazine. So I had some of those people pour into me. And so
Yeah.
that's why I want to pour into these young folks.
And that's what it's all about. You know, I tell people my favorite quote is from Maya Angelou. When you learn, teach, you have to make sure that you give back. Because when you give back, those are the seeds that come back to you. You definitely do reap what you sow. And your Young CEOs program is to make sure that our babies have the fundamentals and all the knowledge and information that they need so that they can be successful entrepreneurs.
That is correct. And like I said before, me doing the Auntie Anne's franchise, I had like 3 different types of franchises, which was a food truck, the Auntie Anne's food truck that I had in College Hill. I had a storefront downtown in the Crew Tower. I did a concession stand in the YMCA in Finneytown. And I also had a concession stand down at the Kentucky Horse Park. And so I believe that my experience in photography, in just the magazine business of interviewing and laying out graphics, also the experience in all of those realms, even dealing with franchises. See, a lot of people might do entrepreneurship, but they don't know how the corporate level of response when you do franchising. So these are things that I want to pass on because there's no need for me to take this to the grave with me.
Oh, yeah. And one of the things that I love that you said earlier is that you had all these different people help you. So you're giving back and you're making sure that they're going to have the information that they need so that way they can grow, and not just in their own business, but in franchising. What's one of the things that you feel like you learned about being a franchise business owner that was different from what normal business owners maybe don't know?
Well, the one thing about being in a franchise, you have to understand that you own your franchise, but at the same time, it is a group effort. So you basically run that part of the business, you're local, but the information and the decision making on where things might head in the business is not really up to you. It's up to the corporate level. And I'm gonna give you an example. So if they decided, a lot of people love like BOGOs and rewards on apps. So if they decided to do a buy one, get one, you have to go with it. Like you be like, hold on, I don't want to go with that because I'm trying to do an event somewhere and I want to have my own pricing, and you don't want to necessarily give away free product. So, but you have to, like I said, go with it because it's like majority rules on this. It's about the greater impact of the brand, not just what you want. So you have to sometimes just, agree to be a team player because you are on a team that's part of the franchise. So it's not just you making up your own rules and your own days and all that other type of stuff. So it's one of those things that you are joining a team. It could be a national team or international team. So everything is discussed and you are just a piece in that puzzle.
I like that. I think that's great information to know because, normally when we start business, we're on our own. We have to do our own market research. We have to do everything. But when you jump in with a franchise, they already have a foundation. So your job is to come in and then add benefit and then make sure that you are following a foundation that's already built, but still make sure you're able to hold your own.
That is correct. And so, like I said, these are some of the things that I want to instill, give information. I want to show them real life examples of let's say, some type of complaint from the community that people do when they feel like their food isn't right. And they will write emails to the corporate level. So I have some of those, unfortunately, but some people give fake reviews online, just a whole lot of stuff. That
talk about it. The things people don't talk about, but these things are happening.
Right. So, and you have to deal with that. You'd be answering questions like, this person never came to my restaurant whatsoever, but it is what it is. So, like I said, just instilling in them that they have to think like an employer, but they have to learn how to be a good employee first. So it's just a whole lot that we have to show them the holistic approach on every decision has a consequence, but at the same time, it could have a reward. So you have to be able to think about the pluses, the minuses, the do's and the don'ts,
Yeah.
just everything at the same time.
Do,
So
do you have
this is
any
one of those things.
partnerships? Do you have any partnerships with any other organizations? Like, how does your program run?
Well, right now, the Young CEO program, the partnerships that I have is I am working with the kids in the Avondale Youth Council. And so we have already started talking about the businesses that they would like to be a part of or want to own in the future. And we say the future is now. It's not necessarily where you have to wait 3-4 years.
Talk about it.
If you have the ability and the drive, then you have the will. You know what I'm saying? Where there's a will, there's a way. So if you are looking to invest in yourself, we can make some things happen in 3 to 6 months. You know what I'm saying? We start the planning process. So, but my partnerships with them, and we've done a few events, like we did the Kwanzaa celebration in December. We did the Men of Honor in November. We just did the Martin Luther King March on this last Monday. And like I said, we're just trying to show them they led the way, they carried the banner starting the march. And I told all of them, you are leaders, you are leading thousands of people right now. You're on the front line with the mayor and other city council, and it was Greg Landsman out there. So I'm like, you're on the front line with them as equals, marching through the streets. And I said, now you're not just following folks, but you're leading. So we're trying to build up a lot of partnership with those people that I just mentioned. We are trying to work with a guy by the name of John House. He's helping on a lot of our editing. So we're reaching out to folks. We want people to understand that the children are our future. Their future is now, and we want them to put the guns down. We don't even want them to pick it up.
And you know what? That's what it's truly all about, is making sure that you partner with the right people. You partner with the right people, you get alliances with the right people, you get the right volunteers, you get the right donations. So that way we are able to attract as many young entrepreneurs as possible. Mr. Jason, what you're doing right now is really truly making an impact, because we have so many kids. When we were growing up, this wasn't the thing. Being an entrepreneur was not the thing. But if the babies that are being born in right now, they're watching their mothers be entrepreneurs. That's what they're seeing. So that's what they want. That's what they aspire to be. But we know it's not easy being an entrepreneur. So teaming up with other businesses and having other partnerships are solely important. If somebody's listening right now and they're an entrepreneur and they're like, oh yes, this is what I want to do. I want to help more people. I want to make sure more kids are aware. How do they support you, and how do they give to this movement?
Well, they can always reach me on my website, which is youngceoprogram.org. If you reach out there, we have our email on there, and contact us. We would definitely get back with you. We have a donation button on there where you will get credit. It is a 501c3 nonprofit, so you will get your receipt if you want to claim something on your taxes in the future. If they want to partner with us, like I said, just reach out, and we are glad, because we want to show them it's a variety of entrepreneurship opportunities.
Yes.
For them. It's not about just being in the food business. I know that's what I offer. I offer the photography. But some of the things, we have baseline goals. And there's baseline things that we have in common as an entrepreneur. So these are some of the things we want people to come and give their experiences to the kids, because t-shirt businesses, it could be a barber or a hair salon. One of my foster kids back in the day, he owns a wig store. You know, we're trying to get him to come and tell people how to make wigs and what some of the issues he might go through.
Right.
So it's one of those things. And like I said, even with the gun violence part of this, because we all know that gun violence is really tearing down our city, our communities, and the nation. And so we have to start planting seeds in some of these young people, these young adults, and the adults itself, to let them know that it's okay not to feel pressured to pick up a gun. We want to make sure that the gun is, you understand, it's not the answer, but it's the cause to more problems. So these are some things that we are trying to reach out to the community. If you feel like you want to be a part of this, we are welcoming you with open arms. You know, please reach out, please donate. We will show you our work. Like I said, some of the things that we have done in the last 3 months, Men of Honor, Kwanzaa celebration at Children's Hospital. We just did the Martin Luther King. We are not out here just talking about it, but we are about it. We are about it. And so we will show you what we are doing. If you come to our other social media website stuff, we will post on the regular, so you can see, just subscribe, you can see how we're making an impact. So you know that the money you are giving to us is affecting the community, because it will affect you.
I love it, man. And you know what? I'm just glad to see more kings stepping up to really assist with making sure we push our youth forward, because a lot of them, you don't have fathers, don't have those men examples in their lives, and that's what they need and they're lacking. So I'm just so like, salute, Jason, keep going. Before we wrap up, I want you to tell us, well, how long does this program last? How do we sign up if we're interested? And is there a cost that is associated with it?
Well, right now, if we can get the donations that we need, you know, we can find some grant opportunities. If you are out there, we are accepting any type of support that you can offer. If you are a grant writer and you want to help us out, please contact us. If you just want to donate and then see how your money is working, please contact us. Our program is not a normal program. I hate to say it, I'm an ordinary dude, but I can do some extraordinary things, because it'd be the God in me than the king I be. See, so I just think differently. And so our program is different. It is not an 8-week program. It's not 12. It's not 16. This is a life program, because the things that we are trying to instill in them, we are not trying to kick them out. We are going to come up with new creative ideas weekly, monthly, daily, and we're trying to just make sure that this is instilled. So yes, when you come in our program, look, they are ready to learn. It's like I said, it's not going to be 8 weeks and 10 weeks, you know, like, because things happen, things change. Right now, kids are making money on NIL deals and other making reels, you know, on social media. So they need to understand what are their tax situations, you know, just a whole lot. So this is a lifelong journey. And so, and we can't force everything in 8 weeks, because some of the things they ain't gonna be able to retain. So we're gonna go ahead and just keep it going as long as we can, as long as we can get the support. So that's how long this program.
Ideally, it's an 8-week program, and once you go through the 8 weeks, you still are able to get the support and the guidance from you, right?
Well, no, right now we are basically working with the Avondale youth, and they meet once a week on Wednesdays, unless we have other opportunities during the week to do events. Now, what we are hoping to do is to have at least 2 or 3 days a week that we can work on our gun violence situation stuff, and then we can also talk about our entrepreneurship stuff, because there's a lot of things that you got to go through. Like, you might have to go through the marketing, you might have to go through, like I said, just why you should have a lawyer, just a whole lot of stuff. So, and you know, kids got a lot of things that they are doing throughout the week. They might have games, they might have other things that, you know, they're committed to. So we're trying to do this 2 or 3 days a week, where they come on average 2 or 3 days a week, and we want the program to be year round. because even if something comes up in there in sports and they can't come, then they might be able to come when they're out of season of that sport. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to miss anybody. We want to give everybody the opportunity to participate.
Okay, well, I guess our last question before we wrap up out of here, if we've heard it, we've listened, the Young CEO program is happening now. If we want to sign up, we're interested, we want to join, how do we connect with you?
Well, please reach out to me on the youngceoprogram.org website. We have a contact page. Please email us. We will, like I said, respond to you immediately. Right now, we are at the Avondale Youth Council that meets on Wednesdays. Please come and introduce whatever. We can go from there. If you want to speak to the kids, just reach out to me and we will make it happen.
All righty, make sure you follow up. Don't be afraid. Again, our kids are the future. So if you really want and you really support our babies and want to be a part of the change, please reach out to Mr. Jason Winbush. I appreciate you, King. Thank you so much again for coming and joining us today.
I appreciate you. Like I said, I love the opportunity. We are about change. We are the change.
It's Community Conversations on 1230 The Buzz, your talk station, 101.1 The Wiz and 100.3 Cincy's R&B station. If you would like to be a guest, all you got to do is slide in my DMs or shoot me an email at msebonyj@radio-1.com. I am Queen Miss Ebony J, the host that does the most, known from coast to coast. And this is Community Conversations, where we talk about the challenges that the community is facing and how nonprofit organizations are truly making a difference. See you next week.